Welcome back to Calmsden. It is February, which means we're edging ever closer to that really busy planting period. And once we get into planting season, it just kicks off from there. So we're not going to have a lot of time when we get there. So my plan for today is to load up the cows with feed and straw. Now, they're not exactly, you can see here, in terms of hay, they're not exactly running out by any means. Equally with straw, they're probably 2/3 of the way there. But my plan is to absolutely load them up so that they're just not causing a distraction during that planting season. Because we could do without that distraction during that time. Also, in this episode, we're probably going to have a quick chat about potentially selling some land. We'll have a chat about that a little bit later. Also, we're going to be buying a slurry tank. It's time. I think we need one. I think we're going to need one on an ongoing basis. I seem to be stuck here. What is going on? Okay, my wheel was in an argument with the pole. And we're away. So as I say, I think we're going to invest in a slurry tank. I think it's something we're going to need going forward. And lastly, we're going to be purchasing a new tractor. I'm not going to say any more about what it is, but a little bit later in the episode we'll get to that. So let's see if we can get these down without creating a mess. Easy does it. I am a demon for getting a little bit heavy-handed with the telly in tight quarters, so I've been known to take out a whole stack by accident. So nice and easy now today. Let's get these out of here. So not exactly sure how many bales the cows will take this time around. I think they might take maybe 6, maybe 7 bales, something like that, before we start into the straw. So far so good. We aren't exactly running low, not just yet anyway, in terms of hay, so I think we did okay harvesting grass last time around. So let's just get these first two in, check and see what way that positions us, and probably time lapse the rest of these bales. Okay, we're back. We're back. That's the bale sorted out. I only had one minor disaster, which was good by my standards. Dropped one bale. So let's get the straw in here. Let's get the hood up first. Make sure I'm hitting the actual trigger point. The latest version, or the latest update to Calmsden Farm that came out was a big help. These triggers were incredibly difficult to find, but now it's all good. So I think with the bales we've dropped in and this bit of hay, I think hopefully this will hold the cows for as long as possible. Yeah, you can see there we're in good shape. So on to the next job. We need a slurry tank, and I've already had a quick look, and I think it's going to be a pretty simple decision. We're going to go with this one. It's 22,500. It's 8.2 cubic meters, which of course is 8,200 liters, but 2,000 gallons. Okay, and we're here. We're down at the dealership. So let's get hitched up here. Yeah. Any of the slurry tanks I've had previously were either red or yellow or whatever. I've never had a stainless steel one before. Looks kind of cool. Hopefully it's easy to keep clean as well. It's a good looking machine. So let's zip back down to the yard and get filled up. Okay, we're here, trouble free. Let's get the gate open. Anyone working on this farm already will know where the trigger point is. The slurry tank actually got an update as well on, thanks to Oxygen David. You see the level of the slurry tank, level of the slurry in the tank is dynamic, so it actually raises and lowers depending on how much is in it, which is pretty cool. I did not notice there was such a big drop at this side until just now. So we're going to head down to the big grass field, the one across the way from the arable farm. So we'll catch up down there. So you'll remember this field, kind of got to drive through about 3 different paddocks to get over here. This is a priority for me because this was the big grass field. We did purchase a second one, but as I say, it just didn't yield a whole lot of grass. Now, I'm a big believer in using our own slurry as well, by the way. This is why I bought the tank. I don't like always running down to the BGA with the slurry. I think if you saw my video a couple of weeks back on yield bonus, it's worth having a look at what you can gain by using it on your own land. So what we might do is we might just zip through this, and we'll probably have a bit more of a chat on it during the second field. Okay, first field done. A little bit of a mess. I struggled to figure out which direction I was going, which patch of ground I'd already covered. It's a kind of an ongoing thing on FS22. I always find it difficult to figure out what I've covered and what's left to be covered. But overall, all good. First field done. So the second field is the one that's up for debate. I'm really thinking about selling it. The second field, we purchased it last year for 35,000 and it only yielded 6 bales. So let's get down there. So I think I was saying this field was 35,000, it only yielded 6 bales. Now if I was to purchase 6 bales, it would cost me 5-ish thousand. So that means it'll be 7 years trying to get my money back on this. It just doesn't feel like it's worth it. Doesn't feel like it's worth having so much equity tied up on it. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to fertilize, harvest once, and then get it sold. So let's crack on here. Okay, so you'll have seen from that time lapse, I'm really still struggling to see where I've covered. So just pull up beside the tank again and refill. It's sort of an ongoing struggle for me to figure out what parts of the ground I've covered and what part I haven't. I'm having to tilt the camera way up just to get a sort of an aspect directly down onto the field, and it depends on which way the sun is shining to get a sort of a sheen up in the field. A little bit frustrating, but we're getting the job done. So let's get back down there now. And we're here. So this is what I'm talking about. You can see perfectly well from this angle, but when you're down at sort of driver level, it's really, really quite tricky. But in any case, we're getting it done. And we're finished. So that's the first of the slurry out. Now, I tend to struggle with this gateway. There isn't a whole lot of space between the gate and that monument. So more slurry to come later, I think, because we do have plenty, and we have plenty of fields that need it. So let's get back up to the yard. Okay, so big question. I'm looking at the used vehicle sale, and I spotted this. A Deutz with 287 horsepower for 93,000. It's 40 months old, which is fine. So 287 horsepower, 93,000. Now we've got a Fent sitting in our garage. It's only 150 horsepower. That's 101,000 to sell. So we stand to gain 7 or 8,000 and nearly an extra 100 horsepower. Now I don't think I need so much horsepower because I need something smaller around the yard, but to be honest, this is too good an opportunity to pass up. So we're going to sell. Selling the Fent, and we're going to get this guy onto the farm. I think this could be really cool. This is big horsepower, and it's a very, very smart looking machine. So let's get down to the dealership. And here we are. This is very smart looking. This is very, very cool. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. As I say, I don't think I need this kind of horsepower when we already have the two New Hollands. Very, very modern interior. Quite cool. I think what I'm going to wind up doing is I'm going to have to purchase an old small tractor of some kind, cheap, just for running around the cow yard. So we're moving around bales, running the straw chopper and whatnot. But I think we're very much covered now. This is very, very cool. I think we're covered for big horsepower tractors now. All we need now is the money to buy big fields to put them to work. So I think we'll leave this episode here. Keep an eye out for the next couple of episodes. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.